JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. Thursday, November 20th, 9:18 on this fine post NVIDIA earnings day. Talk quick about the market. Some names I'm looking at go from the S&P futures in the green. All thanks to NVIDIA's monster beat and raise. You kind of knew, right? I was saying it for this week. I mean, pretty much everybody's been saying, right? A beat and raise is kind of like the foregone conclusion. It was like, what is the commentary? What is the guidance? Like the size of the beat and the size of the raise, and then is there any kind of data point or commentary that could be an excuse to sell, right? And there isn't much of that at all, right? If there's commentary, even the guidance, it kind of was skewed a little cautious, but it seems like they're cautious because they want to be, not because they are, right? Because so it's almost like a good thing, right? You want to see a company that has beats and raises and still be cautious. I mean, that bodes well. You know, keep talking about $500 million in server chips and over a 2-year span ending in 2027. Just crazy numbers, like just mind-boggling numbers. So, any conversation now, everybody seems like it's a collective sigh of relief, but it's like all that the talk about the AI bubble and stuff. Like, is this I would hate to say continue to blow up the bubble? Like, is it going to continue to get blow up into the start of next year if there is one, right? Or is this at some point you have to think the market maybe it's pricing in I wouldn't say a top per se, but like the end of this tremendous growth cycle, and maybe it plateaus or whatever. So when those are the questions, when does that end or when does that start to plateau? And for now, it doesn't look like it, right? I put on the watch list. I can't rule out crazy things, right? The crazy thing here, the outlier would be some pull here today, and Nvidia's up $10. You can't, in the back of my head, and we've seen this. I remember Apple back in 2012, 2015, 20. Apple used to be the company, and no other company is really close to them, that everybody looked at for like market direction. And I remember there's times they have monster earnings, and then it reverses and goes red, and for no other reason than it's just people sold it. It wasn't because it was a bad earnings report or whatever. So always you can't rule that out. And then the thing is, when you do have some kind of outlier move, that's when you make the big money, right? I mean, no one's going to be playing puts at the open. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm playing puts at the open. I just have that in the back of my head that maybe there's some kind of reversal here. I don't know. So anyway, September jobs report came out. That better estimates supposedly was negative estimates. That came out positive this morning. Walmart monster quarter. So if you created a script for a market to rally here today on the heels of the 4-session rally heading into outside. Well, yesterday we ended that session sell off. This would be the script for it, right? Great earnings from monster earnings from NVIDIA, and then great earnings from Walmart, and now what's left. So again, I'm cautiously optimistic here. So if this is kind of put the AI bubble to rest in regards to the tech space, you could chalk it up to profit taking, what have you. Now I could start to be, I wouldn't say aggressive, but get selective on names I think are going to do well heading into 2026. The Serve Robotics, the Reddits, the Lemonades, so on and so forth. So hopefully that's the situation. To me, I'm waiting for the green light. And the green light this morning would be if the market holds its gains, even if we do have some kind of reversal. Obviously, that 50-day moving average is looming there at 669. I don't want to see. I mean, we were there at 7 o'clock this morning, so maybe that gets tested after the open. If that does and bounces, that's a good sign. If we hold green throughout the morning and then rally or at least chop around into the afternoon, that's a good sign. If we have a reversal and then we start to get weakness under that 50-day moving average, that's where I'll start to, I wouldn't say ring the warning bell, but I'll be cautious. I'll be open to getting puts and then see how things settle into the end of the day and then tomorrow. So that's overall market. So 668 is a big spot. Obviously, on the flip side, 679. If we do the bulls come in and really push things higher. I mean, the S&P's up 1.5% here. You're talking 2.5% rally today. I don't know if that'll happen, but can't rule that out either. All right, so that's overall markets. Again, not much, right? So the Fed meeting, I think it's December 10th. So what else? It will start to get some data in December, but what else is going to come out that could really jolt the market, right? So I think that's why today's reaction to NVIDIA earnings is like it's key to see. Okay, are we still in the cusp of this major pullback, or can we get back to like business as normal and maybe get rally and Santa Claus rally and all those things at the end of the year, which would be the ideal scenario, but can't rule out the negative one, right? I don't want to be the Grinch, but have to keep that in your back head because you do this long enough, you've seen things, and those things that usually happen that surprise people are the ones that you make the most money. All right, overall market here, and then I was a little caution to the wind here too. The amount of stocks trading over their 50-day moving average keeps creeping lower, even with yesterday's rally, all the way down to middle of May lows in regards to the amount of stocks trading over their 50-day moving average. Again, not trying to, that's all won't matter if markets rally and hold their ground today. None of this will matter, right? All right, so that's overall markets. Quick on individual names. First, I'll talk about Exact Science. In a month, I'll be doing my top 5 stocks webinar. So top 5 stocks for 2026. I've done this for 12 years at 60 stocks. Of the 60 stocks that I've profiled over the years, because each year I pick 5, like 35 of them have been acquired. So crazy stuff. If there was a way to do some kind of parlay on the amount of stocks trading, my top 5 stocks to that, bet that they get bought out, I would make a lot of money. But this morning, Exact Science, I posted in the chat room. I don't know what time it was. I took a screenshot, 1:30, right? And then it got halted at 1:33 yesterday. Reports that they were going to get acquired by Abbott, right? One of my top 5 stocks in 2023, I talked about. I think the stock was $50. Great story. If you see those Color Guard commercials, the colonoscopy, the test for cancer, great stuff, right? I always love biotech names that not only can you make money, but they do well for the world and folks, right? So great company. But kick myself for missing calls yesterday. And then I was looking at the end of the day and the premiums were nuts, right? And the strikes, they didn't have strikes up to $100. So I'm like, I'm not paying $3 on a contract for a stock that's 70. It just didn't, 86, but it just didn't make sense to me. So whatever, live and learn, move on. But hopefully we bring some more opportunities on my top 5 stock webinar in 2026. All right, so overall market. Just quick on individual names. Obviously, watching SanDisk today, it's been one of those names. I wouldn't say playing it like a fiddle, but been playing the puts and calls pretty well. I think I'm 100% batting average so far. I use the analogy. It's like a boxing match when I'm playing SanDisk because I want to be able to hold it for the big gains, but I also don't want to see my investment go to zero. And when you have huge swings on a name like SanDisk, that can happen very quickly. So I've been taking my nibbles, have taken some punches. And then yesterday, I got those puts for some follow through. Once it stalled, I closed them out quick for some profits. Of course, hindsight, what should have flipped around, went on the call side. But I'll be watching again here today. If this AI bubble's still, and I shouldn't call it a bubble because maybe we aren't in a bubble, but if there's still more legs to this story, you have to think SanDisk is going to trade into the 350, 400 range. Flip side, if this is it, it's going to trade under $200. So I used comparison. I used it when it was $150. The multiples for Micron, I think, is 7, 8 times revenue. SanDisk is still like 4 times revenue. So there's still some meat there, especially if it keeps going. So don't be surprised. I'm open to both sides. I know it sounds crazy that I can price discovery could be 350 or under 200, but that's kind of the market we're in. So take what the market gives you. So that's SanDisk. Oracle after the open yesterday, all the way down to 219, and then boom, off to the races. And I talked about 227, which was its high 2 days ago, whatever. It couldn't break through that. I think it was Friday's high, 227, and then it stalled too. So didn't want to see the premiums come out. The strikes are far away. Close them out for 50%, and then the rest out for flat. And then sure enough, it's gapping here in the pre-market. It was 235 overnight. I'm a little nervous here that it doesn't have a bigger follow through, considering it's down 35% since September 11th. Would think it would be higher. So we'll see how that one plays out here today. If there's follow through and it holds, maybe it gets back over 235, I might dip my toes in some more speculatos there. Just other names too. I got those Adobe puts yesterday morning. Sometimes when you see these acquisitions on some of these names, it's like it doesn't get priced in at the open. After the open, then the sellers come in. I thought that was going to happen with Adobe, so that's why I got some more of those spec puts. Still have plenty of time into Friday, so don't be surprised if I add some more strikes into next week on Adobe. That's that. And then on the flip side, I don't know why I don't have the chart here. Pool. I was playing pool back in the summer or late spring, back when it was in the 300s. It's come down. I think it's 230 now or 240. Do I have it up on the ticker? I don't know. I have the chart here. That chart is screaming pincher. So if market finds its footing, I might start looking for some later dated strikes. Buffett's down like 30% on his investment on this one. Doesn't mean he doesn't get things wrong, but you have to think at some point this starts to bounce, especially if rates continue to head lower, which the 10-year is still well over 4%. Hopefully that starts to tick down. Anyway, 3 minutes to open. I'll be back. Let's have a great day. We're rock and roll.